What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, it is our favorite day of the week. It is Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, everybody. And thank y'all so much for tuning in and rocking with us because it's your favorite power team, your favorite podcast. We're in the building. So if this is your first time rocking with us, we would like to go ahead and formally introduce ourselves. I go by the name of Kesha Kesh.
It's your boy, Dr. Real, Mr. Motivational. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's talk about
Let's go. Let's go. Y'all already know how we do. We excited because, like we always say, it's just like the family reunion, right? We coming back to chat. We coming back to chill and kick it with our people so that we can just chop it up and have a good time. We have a lot of great things that we're excited about that we're going to talk about tonight, but we want y'all to interact with us too. We got the holidays coming up. We got a lot going on. We got current events. Man, it's going down. Hey, and really quick.
Y'all. Get in the comment boxes and talk to us.
Right. Hey, y'all, really quick. I had two ladies. You guys won. If you're tuned in and listening right now, I still have your gifts right here sitting with me. I inboxed you both and I said, I need your address to mail you your stuff off. I was on the Mamapreneur podcast roundtable. We did a drawing. I had two people to win. So I need you ladies to check your inbox so I can get your address so you can get your stuff so that I can get it to you. Okay. Moving on. Oh, so that's what y'all have to do. You have to pay attention and rock with us because you never know when I'm giving something away. You never know when Dr. Real's giving something away. You just never know when the Power Team platform is giving something away. So the only way you're going to get it is you have to tune in, baby. You got to rock with us. Here. Okay.
Be here.
So if you guys paid attention to some of the stuff that we have, that we posted that we're going to be talking about, let's just go ahead and get into it because the time always gets a rolling with us because we love interacting with you all and the time just seems to just fly right on by. One of the things that we were talking about and myself, Dr. Ray, we were talking about it backstage as well. I know that you guys have seen it and chime in about it. If you guys have details, if you have thoughts about it, we don't want to get too deep into it because it's tragic. There's other people that's have family that was involved in this, but is it Astroworld? Is that what it's called, Dr. Astroworld? Mm-hmm. And it's in Houston. If you guys have been paying attention, because they've been going live like every couple of minutes. Like I've been seeing them live on Facebook and everything. They've been going live discussing the actual things that went on at that concert. Now, they say that this concert was from, it was with him and Drake. And unfortunately, there was, prayers for the families. There were about 8 people that lost their lives at that actual concert. And just to picture going somewhere and not returning, the people were between the ages of 14 and like 27, y'all. They didn't make it back home. And it's a tragic situation for both sides, in my opinion, because, these people lost their family, Travis and Drake, whomever that threw this concert, their names on it. So, of course, they're being accused. And it's hurtful because it's one thing when you see a person lose their life at the hands of a gun and someone pulls the trigger and it's murder. But I don't got no blood on it, and these people lose their lives, and I'm accused of it. That's different. Yeah, that hurts. That's tough. So chime in, guys, if you can. Go ahead, Dr. Real.
Like I was saying backstage, it's like you was an accessory to murder. I mean, I know he, like I said, in my heart of hearts, I don't think he would ever want to see this. I mean, because they love to say that, all no publicity is bad publicity, but in this situation. I mean, you're talking about death attached. It's like when Diddy had that big, just had them bad boy basketball tournaments and something bad happened in one of those, kind of the same situation. Somebody got crushed. His name was thrown through the mud for a while because of it. You've had this incident many times in rock and roll venues and nightclubs and everything. You've had incidents of the same thing. But with this one, there was a combination of sold out tickets. Had been sold out for months. And then from what I've read, there's a whole in one of the fence where people snuck in for the VIP part. And I think that's where most of
See,
the trauma was at.
but you
So
know what? That hurts because how can I control people sneaking in? Security is supposed to be here. Security is supposed to have my back. I got people sneaking in. Obviously, cameras are somewhere. There's going to be a whole lot of people held accountable and need to be held accountable for this situation.
yeah,
I seen a press conference today with the police department, and they were kind of upset and kind of putting the officers, everyone that's working this case, putting them in check a little bit because they're like, let us do our job. We have not fully investigated everything. Let us do our part before y'all start spreading rumors and putting things out there. Which I understand it, because you getting all, man, these chats going on. Y'all better be careful on Facebook talking about some of this stuff because we already told y'all they'll put you in Facebook jail. You try to bash those celebrities and everything, but they was taking him down. I was trying to jump in there and save him a little bit, but I was trying to be careful about the stuff that I said because I'm
but
like,
isn't that always the initial reaction when something negative comes out about somebody famous?
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is we live in this build up the tear down culture. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
amazing how we love them when they're just coming out and they're all lovable like a baby, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Nobody hates on a baby too much. Then they start to grow, and then all of a sudden you don't, you know what I'm saying, you're not as proud of them anymore. Like you're just mad at them because they may have changed, but they couldn't remain the same person.
Yes.
That's going to make you bring some kind of change to them. It's, hopefully it's something, and they have something in their character that was good will bring out. Because money just makes you more the person you already are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're an asshole, you were broke, you can be a super asshole when you got money. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to too much change from who you are, even if you don't have money. The true you're going to always, especially got money's going to come out. I just hope, I heard he's paying for all the families that past funeral arrangements.
He is. Yeah, I saw that.
That's a very good move, even if it's for PR or just because it's in his heart. Either way, it's a move. It just with anything, don't go overboard making these super duper regulations and guidelines. Y'all to go to the left real hard when something bad happened. Look at what happened. Live Nation, because you ain't sneak away from this. Live Nation, look at what's happening because you were the promoter for this. So you're accountable as well. Make sure you do your due diligence because this has from what I've read, a reputation of this promoter. So
I saw that too.
We're barely opening up, you know what I'm saying? So we want to keep it open with not overstretching guidelines. I know people, like my wife brought up Michael Jackson and people should faint.
Right.
For me. Yeah, but I never heard nobody dying at Michael Jackson concerts.
Right.
I see them do one move like that, everybody in the front row just fall out and faint. I've seen that on video. But
some people had live footage going. They had Snapchats going. They had actual, live Facebooks. And what you were seeing is that I'm really interested in knowing and learning the cause of deaths of everyone, because a couple things I saw were people went into cardiac arrest. Some people weren't able to breathe and they were trying to jump up for air. Like they were recording this stuff. They were trying to jump up for air. So I'm like, it's all tragic, but it's kind of crazy. Today in the press conference, they said this may take months to even try to finish investigating because there's so many people involved. Like this is a lot. Like you say, security and everybody.
But if you think about it, they're getting smashed from the front to back, left to right.
Right.
And it's like having the world's biggest weighted blanket on you. So as they're smashing you, you're not gonna be able to breathe because all that body is compressing against you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're not gonna be able to breathe well. So you're gonna become unconscious. It's gonna happen. And then when they're smashing front to back, automatically somebody's gonna fall because of all that force. Somebody's gonna eventually when they push from the back, then the front will push back, and in that wave, that's when somebody falls down.
That's true.
I say it was a lot of things that went bad. Some things you really couldn't control with the way they did the mob. They had a bunch of mob pits where they mosh pits where they said. They had a
Mm-hmm.
piss out there. I went to when he was "Don't Blow It Out the Window," the Antidote song, when he was just bubbling. I went to a festival he was at, and that crowd, because he is a very live entertainer. He was jumping all around the audience in his performance, like very live wise.
Mm-hmm.
So his crowd was the same way. His crowd known a bunch of college kids, you know what I'm saying, and teenagers. You know, so all the
So
energy and the things that they do prior to pregame they doing prior to coming to the concert or inside.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a combination of not too many good things.
Yeah. And I think what makes it a little bit rough, like you say, this is something that happened before. This kind of happened in 2017 at one of his concerts. So, me not knowing how this stuff goes, I'm trying to figure out, is that the motive? Is it more so of people trying to pack out a certain place and you're getting recognition because people are passing out or something? Like that means is there a meaning behind it? I was so dope. I mean, my concert pretty much made people pass out. Like I'm hoping that ain't the thing, but at the same time, I don't know because it's happened before. But it's a sad situation. Me personally, if I was in his shoes, I would be afraid to perform again. Like that's like trauma to me. Like I couldn't even be on a stage and have a good time and entertain people from having a nightmare or something or a thought in my head of what took place at Astroworld.
Yeah.
So prayers for him too. We're praying for the family, the people that actually, lost people in that sad situation in Houston. But imagine what he's going through too. He got kids, he got a family, and you was out there doing something that you do for a living and you enjoy doing, and 8 people lost their lives. And you really ain't even got blood on it. You didn't
for everyone to not have an extended bout with PTSD over this situation. Hopefully they'll be able to come to a resolution. Go seek therapy. Don't be afraid. Talk about it. Especially
it's
Travis,
definitely
one of them. Travis, like you said, man, like how next time he goes in front of an audience, is he going to freeze up?
He probably will.
Pushing or something just to trigger him.
Because they did say that when the people that were close to him and he was able to lay eyes on, he was saying, hey, get them. Hey, watch them. They're passing out over there. Like he was stopping in the middle of performing, directing help over to them because he saw them passing out. Like I can only imagine you can't even focus on what you're doing because you're trying to seek help for someone that's passing out at your event. Like that is, I think I would have stopped the show because, and I hate to say it this way, he still was gonna get paid, wasn't he? The money was
sure.
He still was gonna get paid.
But the crazy part, you seen that TikTok where those kids would climb up that ladder where I guess when the sound men and lighting men were at, and they was like, "Get help! There's people dying down here." And it was like they climbed upstairs on the phone, and I was like, kind of like waving them off. And she was like, "No, like you need to stop." It's like that's when something like that goes to court, as if they can let that in as evidence. I don't know how a jury is going to sit here and be like, dang, well, I'm not going to pay the families. There's no way. It's no way.
It's gonna be tough. Like I said, it is gonna be tough, and it's not gonna be an easy case to pin this on Travis, because I'm definitely sure he's going to have some good lawyers. And again, it doesn't speak to the fact of how I could understand the families they're feeling, in this tragic situation, but he gonna definitely have some help in that situation. I can feel it. I just know because this is a tragedy. So just wanted to talk about that, guys. Thanks for tuning in and listening to us about what took place at Astroworld in Houston. Again, if you're just tuning in, thanks so much for rocking with us and just chiming in and checking us out on this nice, fine Wednesday night, because we already know you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be right here with us, and we truly appreciate it.
Yes.
So moving along. Something else I wanted to talk about, and listen, I know y'all probably think that me and Dr. Real gonna sit here and give y'all a list of stuff, but this is us trying to get some pointers for you guys too. We were wanting to talk about fun things to do for the holidays, because I'm trying to steal some ideas. I ain't really trying to just give y'all all of them because I don't have any, because it's changed. It's different. Like around this time, usually I would have a trip or vacation already lined up between now and next year. Just because it's the holidays, and now I'm a little scared. I'm like, dang, I want to get stuck somewhere if I want to go
Mhm.
somewhere far. Now, if it's somewhere I can always get back home, I ain't tripping. But if it's like out the country or somewhere far away, I'm just kind of like, I ain't trying to do that. And I don't know what's gonna happen, with the weather, because it's so crazy. But
Mhm. And
one
the
of the
airlines.
yes, the airlines they are crazy. Some are a little bit crazier than others, but
You might be
I
flying
don't
the
even know
plane.
what's up with that. Somebody, I'm tired. People get mad still hitting people in the nose on these airlines. They getting upset because they got to put these masks on. I
Listen,
keep seeing fights. I think they're trying to go viral. It got to be because it's stupid. Because
it
guess
don't
what?
make any
They're gonna do
sense.
an emergency landing and they're gonna take your ass to jail. Like you can't
Jail,
run. You cannot run. You
jail.
cannot run. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what? They got to be trying to go viral. You can't spend the money because you going to jail. You done caught a case because you didn't want to put on your damn mask on the plane and you done hit this lady in the nose because she trying to
Mhm.
do her job. Just
Right.
stupid stuff. But anywho, what is it that you guys are doing? What are y'all doing for the holidays that's coming up? Because we had to switch the game up a little bit. I really like watching like the families to get together and they do the pajamas and everybody play the games and stuff like that. Thanks for tuning in, Akia. Give hopes to the unfortunates. I like that. That's definitely a go. You can never go wrong with giving, to the unfortunates. They still fighting on the planes. Yes, Damon, you got to turn the TV on, bro. They still fighting on the planes and busting people in the nose. They just did it last week, I think. Um, so I really like to see those kind of activities and things like that. You could do the paint parties also, even if you just do it with your family. You can order those paintings and you can set your own theme, and then you can have it set up to where you're watching your Christmas movies and got the fireplace lit or whatever the case may be, and just really really have a good time. But the game it's switched up. It's kind of like we're still going into flu season, so you don't know if you're going to get sick. You don't know if everybody else is going to get sick, and then you don't want to plan this stuff where a lot of money is involved because you
Mhm.
may not get your money back. It's just a lot. I know I have a lot coming up. I like my daughter. Her baby shower is the day after Thanksgiving. I
Ooh.
don't know what the weather's going to be. Yes, it's the day after Thanksgiving. So it's like then the week after Thanksgiving is my birthday. And you got Christmas coming up. I mean, you got so much stuff. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I got to write stuff down and pick and choose what I'm going to
So much
do.
stuff in so little time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like crazy, crazy, crazy,
Well,
crazy.
since I'm married into my wife's family, they do a big Christmas Eve like event like every year, and it's
Mm-hmm.
cool. It's cool. They play games, you know what I'm saying, for prizes and everything, and it's cool because they be fun games, and it kind of brings the kid out of everybody because they're competitive
Mm-hmm.
games, and everybody's competitive, so everybody want to win, so it's more funny when you're trying to win, but like you have like the wrapped up kitchen mitts and you're trying to open a gift wrapper, trying to open a present. It's like damn
Yeah.
impossible to do it, but it's funny.
Yeah. And
We did lip sync contest last year, and that was dope.
that's the fun stuff. I mean, when I'm watching Christmas movies, I've been watching like Christmas movies and stuff. I like the
Uh,
whole
Not you too.
going. And I love it because it puts me in a different mood, and you get to see the families doing stuff and doing the Soul Train line, and just
Oh yeah.
sitting up, chopping it up, talking, having a good time. I know for Christmas, my grandmother, so which includes my mom and all her brothers and sisters, they're going to actually have a sleepover at my grandmother's house. So I guess we can't come. I guess it's just the brothers and the sisters of my grandmother, her kids. They're supposed to spend the night at her house
Okay.
and have like a sleepover just with the siblings for Christmas. So I think that's going to be really really good. But
Dope.
yeah, we're just trying to be nosy, y'all, to figure out what y'all doing. Because people like to go to the cabins, they rent out these places. But
Mm-hmm.
again, not knowing what the weather's going to be like, it's just kind of iffy and kind of tricky around this time. But we should still, I mean, I don't want anybody sitting up depressed. that's why I wanted to just kind of throw some ideas out there, because you may be just like me and everybody else, like, dang, let me think of some stuff. Because sometimes this time of the year is not really exciting for everybody. You know, some people look forward to it, some people don't. And everybody have their own reasons of, you know, not being a fan of when this time rolls around. But I wanted to kind of share some ideas and thoughts of like what everybody doing.
So this is something I would say. If I were single in this day and age, if a person is single and they don't have any family around, there's so many Facebook groups and other groups you can join where y'all can come together and have y'all own stuff. I mean, we get up and meet strangers all the time, but this is something that 10 or 15 or 20 of us in the same city or somewhere or neighboring cities have in common. We don't have anywhere to go for holidays. So let's meet up at wherever's going to be open, because something's going to be open. You know, when it comes to money, you know, that doesn't stop. The capitalism going to run 365. So somebody's going to be open. Y'all get together and kick it.
Right. And you're right.
You don't have to be by yourself. I understand for some people, they lost their mama, daddy, or just, you know, the black sheep of the family, and they don't fool with them, or they might be overseas or just far away. Whatever the reasoning is, that's a tough time. I remember being in the military, a lot of single people were left on base to do all the other work because the people that have families would go on leave. And a lot of times we didn't have nowhere to go, were the ones kind of stuck behind because they kind of like, well, I ain't got nowhere to go, so I'll just go ahead and do it. And I always thought that was sad, like how y'all that don't have no one, once y'all get together and entertain each other.
Right. And that's a really, really good idea that you put out there, Dr. Real. I know some crazy stuff that goes on social media, y'all, and some crazy groups and crazy things on Facebook, but it is a lot of very good groups and beneficial groups out there that even if you're looking for an ideal and if you're shy and you don't want to, you know, put your 2 cents in or tune in, you can still kind of peek in and see what's going on. Or, you know, if you get involved in a group and you do draw a little bit of interest, they really do. They'll tell you, hey, we're meeting up here in Dallas. We're meeting up here in Addison. We're meeting here they'll put it out there, and they start posting pictures. So a lot of them do show up and have a good time with each other, because when it's done, they post pictures in the group. So, you know, I think that's a really good thing to point out, because again, some people like to sit up and sulk and, you know, reminisce about like, dang, the good old days. And some people just really want to find some fun people to hang out with and have a good time with. So, I would, check out some of the groups and things that's going on social media. All of them not bad. Now, all of them ain't good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No. You gotta be careful. Use your common sense. Don't meet no one individually. You know what I'm saying? Meet in a crowded place. It makes sense where you have mad witnesses and cameras. You know, say you don't want to be in a CSI or what's the other show with the FBI, Criminal Minds. You want to be a Criminal Minds victim. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you meet with a lot of people and somebody know where you're going. That's just like if you weren't doing that before social media, you should be doing it now. Let somebody know where you're going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somewhere. That way, you know what I'm saying, you can't say, well, I ain't know where my sister been. You a sister.
Yes.
You know, sister
yes.
Don't feel like somebody's trying to kind of control you. In this day and age, you need to leave, because anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
And it's true.
Your phone could go dead. But the last place I know she said she was going was XYZ. At least that gives them somewhere to start at. You know, so
true.
Use your common sense. Be safe this holidays. Like we always say, if you're feeling sad or just kind of like Kesha said, it's a trigger season for you. There is, I've said it before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. There's a benefit on most jobs. You can call free resources for living and talk to somebody, so you're not alone.
Yes.
So there's always a life raft through the rough time of your life. You just gotta recognize what it is and use it.
Yes. And I want to say this really quick too. And I want to just say this because of the holidays that's coming up, because minus even the holidays and things that's coming up, people are going through things just because of the world that we're living in today. So I just want to, like Dr. Real is saying, there are numbers that's out there, people that you can talk to. I come in contact with so many people, and if they share their stories with me, or if they talk about some of the personal things that they're going through, and it comes with anxiety or depression or something like that, the first thing they always say to me is that they're embarrassed and they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to feel like a crazy person. And I want to let you guys know, this is a crazy world that we're in right now. You should not feel ashamed. You should not feel embarrassed, because you're in a situation just like multiple people are in situations, and we've never dealt with this before. Pretty much everything is virtual. You can't go certain places. You're having to live and do things in a different place. You know what I'm saying? In a different place. And you're adapting to it. Some people are stronger than others. I get that. But you can't have the mindset of everybody gonna think I'm crazy. Well, we all feel crazy right now, because guess what? This is something we've never done before. We're having to get used to living in pretty much a avatar slash robotic slash you name it type of world. And I just wish everybody would see and understand that, and not feel like they're alone.
The good part about it is we're openly discussing mental health a lot more, with a lot more positive reinforcement with it. It's not like 20 years ago, where if an athlete would have came out talking about it in the press, they'd have been slammed in the media. You wouldn't be able to talk about you being depressed and not playing a game. What you mean you depressed ain't playing a game? You soft. You a punk. You know what I'm saying? You get those kind of attacks, and not, thank you for expressing that. We understand, we're here to help you, and be genuine about it. That's a little bit of the difference. And yeah, cause you're right. It is hard for people to talk about it, but we're in a day and age now where you talk about everything in your life on social media already. You had a bad day at work, you go either to Twitter, Instagram, or whatever to tell everybody you had a bad day at work. You know what I'm saying? We're openly sharing everything. So why wouldn't you want to share things that's tearing you apart?
Right.
You don't get avatar in real life for so long until you're gonna start malfunctioning. You can't keep up a mirage forever. It's impossible.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. Eventually you're gonna realize that water you're drinking is sand, because it's all fake, and everybody's gonna see it. You got to remember, somebody know you, other than the people that you see on social media. Somebody know you. They know you capping. They know you stunting. They know you being extra. They know you. So, I mean, why live a lie when somebody right there with you know the truth? Just reach out and talk to somebody that you trust. And I find it easier to talk to a stranger. I can be more open with a stranger sometimes, and I can be open with somebody close enough to me that has personal experience with me, that can judge my feelings versus really listening to what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So don't be shy.
I agree. So yeah, think about it. Think about that person that's even if it's the person you can think of that's non-judgmental, or somebody that you see that has your best interest. Find someone, have that connection, have someone. We want to just keep a positive mindset, enjoy the holidays that's coming up. We deserve that. We've been through the rough couple of years, this whole pandemic and stuff like that. So we got to start just opening up our eyes, counting our blessings, understand that we're here for a reason, find our purpose, and just enjoy life. Like that's really what it's all about. It really is.
And there's people that really suffer during this time where the dark gets darker earlier. You know what I'm saying? So it's darker longer. A lot of people are.
Oh, I remember you said that.
Yeah, it says a condition called SAD, and they get affected by this change because it's darker longer. I heard people talking about it in line today. I was like, people really talking about they don't feel right because the time is changing. Like, man, that's crazy. It doesn't bother me. Now, I mean, if I live around it, like in Seattle where it rains all the time, it's a high depression rate because it's always raining. I can understand that piece of it. But I know this is only for like 4 months. But there's some people, even people who don't have SAD, that are affected by it being darker longer. Like it takes something from them. It doesn't.
There's still some states fighting it. I'm
not
sure if they said Atlanta. Did Atlanta win? I haven't even checked this.
I'm not sure.
Somebody, I know it's like 3 or 4 states that don't indulge in it. They don't change.
They don't have to anymore. The reason they designed it is no longer needed. No, we're not. It's not World War II, and farming is not as prevalent. It's still prevalent, but it's not. People are not just farming no more. People are working. So we don't really need to do that anymore because if they don't have to do it, I think in upper Minnesota, all we gotta do it around the country. If we're working there, it's obviously working. You can work anywhere. You don't really need to change the time. Have me falling back and springing forward. No.
We'll see because they're still they're into it about it, is what I read probably about a week ago, that they're still trying to debate whether we should, leave the time alone or do what it is that we do.
Yeah.
Carlos said, yeah, true, but some things just aren't for social media to me. I'd rather call someone that knows me and understands what I've been through. And I agree. Sometimes a stranger with the empathy and the compassion to care is a blessing, but they're few and far apart. You want to respond to that one, Dr. Real?
I mean, that's true and all, but the reason I say if I'm a friend that's not comfortable being real with you, you may say something that you're totally wrong for. And if I don't tell you that, and I just see and say, yeah, man, I know she did this, but I don't understand why you did so and so. I'm becoming an enabler to you. I'm not being real with you. But someone that's a stranger that don't have any skins in the game, not going to care to tell you the raw truth because they have no reason for you not going to feel anything about it. If I say it to you, you can't handle it because even though I'm coming from a place of love, you're like, man, but you're supposed to be on my side. If I'm with your people, you're wrong, fam. And I need to be able to tell you that. But some people know. Well, I already know how she's going to react. So if I tell them the 100% truth, it's going to be more a problem than it is right now. But if I tell them some of the truth and hype them up, then I'm square. But you ain't doing them. You're not helping your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can say real friends not going to be a yes man, but there's some people who will because they don't want to turn into something else. I'm telling you.
And I agree, Carlos. It doesn't really make them a yes man. It could make them I'm gonna say yes so we can end this conversation. Like I like they may feel like they don't want to continue it. More so of like, okay, yeah, I'm agree with you because they may feel that it's going to a place where they may not even want to go. So it don't really make them a yes man, but you still got to understand who you're talking to and who you're speaking with at that moment. Because it definitely will make a difference, especially depending on what the relationship is.
Right.
But thank y'all so much for tapping in about that. That's one of the things that we kind of want to talk about. Just a lot of stuff going on, and depression is real. And anytime we can touch on that, we want to definitely. Yes, she said it best. Alfreda, she said they don't want the confrontation. Exactly. And that is the way that sometimes it's dealt with. You don't have to be a yes man, but you hit it. She hit it. All right, moving on. So if you all saw the topic of what I posted, we were going to talk about relationship temp checks. Let me break that down just a little bit. I honestly feel like a relationship should always have a temp check. And I think the fact that when you're in a relationship, you feel like you don't have to have a temp check because you already know that person, right? Like you already know their favorite food. You already know what they like to do. You know their favorite colors. You know their schedule. It seems like a little bit they're predictable. But the problem is communication ties into temp checks. And a lot of times people don't like that communication, so they don't want to do the temp checks, which causes a lot of confusion in relationships. For the life of me, sometimes I am very confused when a person says to me they didn't see something coming. Like meaning that if you've been in a relationship with this person and all of a sudden this person is just, y'all finna get divorced tomorrow. Like, how could you not see that coming? Because when I say temp checks, you can tell the tone of a person, the demeanor of a person, the behavior of a person when you get on their goddamn nerves. I'm just going to keep it real. Like, that is the temp checks that you need to find out and understand. And if you begin to see those signs, there's nothing wrong with testing it to confirm what it is that you assume that you're getting. For example, you happy, you smiling, you in a real good mood. But he or she, every time you look over there, they frowned up about something. You could have said, "Hey, baby, did you take the trash out?" They get a whole attitude, knowing, "Goddamn, what? You got somebody got to take it out." It's normal stuff, but they got an attitude and they're so upset. That is the time to have that temp check. Hey, babe, are we good? Because I noticed that when I asked about the trash, you kind of and let that person give you an understanding of what they're talking about. They could have had a bad day, but again, if this happens again and you do that same thing, we must got a problem. Because a person it ain't nothing like a person that's irritated by you and sick of you. That they're going to show you, they're going to respond, and they're going to definitely let you know. So we got to do the temp checks, y'all. We have to tap into the mind of a person that we're dealing with. It doesn't matter because we've been dealing 15 years. I don't care. It means that something always changes. So let me not assume just because we're together, oh, you're just having a bad day, she having a bad day, we good. No, we not. No, we may not be. I need to know. I need to feel secure. I need to understand, did I do something wrong? Like, did I mess up something? Can I fix it or can I not? And that is what I mean when I say temp checks. There's nothing wrong with tapping in, checking with each other to see if we're good. But I get it so much. Dr. Real, I've ran into people that they're lost when they find out that they're no longer with somebody. They're like, I didn't even, how did you not see this coming?
It's because like we said, you know, the old cliche phrase, love is blind. When someone and you deep in love with somebody and the other person ain't that much in love with you, long they're doing the enough to keep you baited, you're gonna be there. To me, it's always somebody more in love with the person in any given time relationship. I don't think it's ever the same. Ever. I don't even in the beginning moments, I don't think it's ever the same. It switches, you know, like anything. But like I posted before, when somebody that when you lose feelings for people and you don't give a damn no more, everything they do piss you off.
Everything.
You know, damn, you breathing too damn hard. You're sneezing too hard.
Yes.
Everything is little stuff, and when you to that point where you don't mentally care no more, then it becomes outward. You don't hide it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because once your heart done healed and moved, your heart done freely moved on, and now your brain done caught up, it's done. You start talking to
but
them bad.
If you're doing those temp checks, doing those temp checks to lead up to that, you will know.
I mean, you will know. It's like your body requires an annual physical, right? So to make sure to see what's wrong. Your car, if you don't tune it up or change the oil enough, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna hear signs, but you ignore them signs. Then a repair that could have been done for $60 is now $800 job because you ignored the warning signs. And when you're in a relationship, and sometimes it happens, you both get distracted by doing other things, and you lose that connection that everybody talks about. We don't feel connected no more because we don't all got into, I'm a mom now, you're a dad, but I'm that mom that my kids matter more to me than you, which it should be, in my opinion, the other way around, because the kids eventually going to leave your home, and then you're going to have two strangers looking at each other like ships in the night, like, what the hell? Who are you?
Yeah, like, what the hell?
But who the hell are you now? You know, take the tears off.
Right.
You're right. You got to check in with each other, and people are going to change. Their favorite food could have been linguine in the first 2 years, and now their diet changed. So their favorite food is this now, and you still stuck with what their favorite food was 10 seasons ago.
Exactly.
You gotta know what's happening now because everything changes. People's appetite change.
All the time.
On life changes. Just a lot of things change, and you're like, damn, who the hell are you after a while?
Let me say this, and I want your opinion, Dr. Real. Sure. You know, I was scrolling around like I always do on Facebook, and I ran in this parking lot. So I got to the parking lot, and this guy, he said, it's a proven fact that, I'm not going to quote him because he might be watching, and he'll come right in and check, be like, that ain't what I said. I'm going to summarize what I read. Okay. He said that he's witnessed that women Men that are too faithful usually are the ones that get cheated on by women because they're too faithful, and being too faithful causes them to be boring, and the boredom causes the woman to cheat. Now that's what he
Okay.
said.
I'm gonna say this, in what he might be chanting at.
Well, he didn't say it right.
I read something about this situation. This man,
So they wrote about this.
he wrote something into a column, and it sounded something similar. And what he said is, he feels like his wife settled for him, but cheated with her preference. But she knows she never could settle with her preference because her preference was somebody like her, kind of wild and out there, fun loving, very very extrovert to the max. But he is more homebody, go out, get the money to take care of the family, do a little fun stuff, but overall not the super excitable person. So she settled for him because he was safe. She knew he was a provider. She was kind of above his pay grade in a sense. So he knew, in his mind, at least, he thought he would never find nobody as fine as her again because she was way above his pay grade. You know what I mean?
Really?
People look at me like, damn, how the hell you pull her? It's kind of like Pete Davidson, and he dated Kim Kardashian. And people looking at Pete Davidson like, how the hell you had Ariana Grande and some other ladies everybody considers beautiful, and this dude looked like he looked in the eyes of some people. It's the same thing. So he said that his wife married him. She settled for him, but she cheated with her preference, and that makes 100% sense to me. If you're going to cheat, you're going to cheat with somebody that's opposite of what you got at home. So you're going to cheat with your preference.
Well, he also elaborated and said, because we was on his neck. I'm gonna be honest with you, us women, we got in there, we was on his neck, and he was trying to get up out of there, and we weren't trying to let him go. But wait, let me see what Carlos said. Carlos, I want to get on your neck too. Let me see. Carlos said she wants a nice guy, homebody, because she knows he's loyal. I understand what you're saying. This is what I'm saying. When he made that statement, the ladies, we had to furthermore let him understand that you're talking about two different things, and it sounds kind of stupid because you're labeling with what there's not a such thing of too faithful. The hell does that mean? He labeled too faithful with boredom. Now, if I am too faithful, who don't want a too faithful person? Sign me up. I want one. You know, we all want that.
Some people say they do.
You know, you want it.
No,
you
some
should.
people say they want that, but they don't want that.
Well, if they don't want that, it's another reason, but it's something else they want. So what I was explaining when my response was boring, we can fix because maybe there's some other things that they didn't tap into in the relationship. And so he came back to say, he's like, well, no, I'm speaking from stuff that I know. He said this person could have done everything and felt like he felt and met every desire of his woman and felt like everything was good, but only to find out that he wasn't fulfilling all of her needs and her desire. And then I said, well, there's probably one thing that he wasn't doing, and that had to be communicating, because how could you not know that you're not fulfilling these things? We got a communication issue, because I'm gonna tell you. So I don't know. I think he may have meant it how you said it, which makes sense. I understand it. I'm rocking with y'all. I hear you. But with the too faithful got me. Everybody looking for somebody that's too faithful, I would think.
Yeah, ain't that many. Your intentions are with that faithfulness, though. You know what I'm saying? It's what your intentions are. Your intentions are to use that faithfulness of the of your spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever it may be, for you to prey upon that and do your dirt. Is different. Unless someone that's really wants to be with someone and really wants to be in a monogamous relationship, you will appreciate too faithful. But some people take too faithful and use that as a weapon against that too faithful person. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. That's why I say a lot of people settle for the safe bet, but they cheat with their preference. Men do it too. They have the prototype good woman at home. that stay to herself, and she got her friends, but she don't go, she don't go nut with it. She remembers she's married, has a good time, good homemaker, got to get the money, doing everything, educated, everything you could ever want. And then a man will find someone total opposite of that she with. She'd be the uneducated, goddamn greasy ass fried chicken slippers on, just toes opposite of you. And you're like, why the hell you with that? Because that's his preference. But he didn't want to take that home for his mama and aunties and everybody to judge. Like most moms, like, why you bringing that home? That ain't what it is. You see what I'm saying?
Now, I get you. And I see what Carlos is saying too. Carlos said, hell, I've had sisters to tell me I'm too nice, so they just can't get with me due to not wanting to disappoint me later. Women do say that. Women, and let me tell you why. Everybody goes through a certain stage in their life. So I understand what it is that you're saying, Carlos, when it comes to that. But I'm speaking of a person that's already in a relationship with somebody and not knowing that this is what us two desire. I should know what your wants, need. We should be communicating. But I get where you're coming from. For example, women, we do it all the time. We look at as we're growing. We look at security and, we look at things the way we should not look at it. And we feel strength comes from gangster, thug, and a whole lot of other stuff. So we see the strongness in a man based on those things until we bump our head and find out, like, what was that? Because I've done it before. I ain't going to lie to you. I thought a man was somebody that can protect me. And if you could protect me, you had to be strong. Like, you had to be so gangster. If somebody looked at us crazy, you're going to look at them back like, hey, me and her, you looking the wrong way. That kind of stuff. So you want that toughness about it. And then you get the guys that actually are quiet. And them probably the real killers, to be honest with you. They're going to do something to you. The ones that doing that talk probably ain't going to do nothing. But the ones that are quiet, as a woman, you feel like, dang, if somebody try to hurt me or do something, he's not going to do anything. He's so quiet. Because it's what we are taught. That's what we're seeing. We see this growing up. So as a little princess, and you're trying to grow up to be protected, you want that roughneck type dude until you grow up. I'm glad I grew up because I had one. And dang,
anybody who's listening to tonight, just think, if you ever cheated on somebody or somebody ever cheated on you, I want you to don't go back. What's going to bring up feelings. You're going to be mad tomorrow. But if you really went past that and just think back to those times, were they different than you? Because that's the case. That was their preference. I promise you that. People are going to date. Right. They're going to go outside there, but they're not going to go find you. Because they're going to go find you, then it wouldn't be. They wouldn't desire nothing else. But they have a preference, and you, my friend, and my lady, my man, you don't punch all the buttons for them. They may do it for you, but you don't punch all the buttons for them.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's going to go right into my topic.
Good deal. Let's get into it because we do have another topic. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
That not trying to transition, but it just goes into my topic about trauma bonds. And that's how it starts. That's why when I say, and some people take it the wrong way, when I say that there's always somebody more in love than the other in a relationship, a lot of times it is. You know what I'm saying? And just like seasons, it changes. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's some people when you're all the way in and they give you the appearance of all the way in, kind of like they normally have a narcissistic or manipulator type personality. And they're the ones that they just like you get Stockholm syndrome, where you start to, kind of think alike and sympathize with your abuser. So those people who say, yeah, we done ride down relationship, or we a roller coaster relationship, we done broke up, make up to break up. You know what? You're doing that because you have trauma bonds. That's why you can't seem to leave. You got that KC. I can't leave her alone. You're feeling. That's why.
Okay, Dr. Real. All right.
You know I can't sing. I had to do it.
Y'all got tuning on Wednesday nights to get that.
But that trauma bond can create in your brain dopamine, that good feeling chemical in your brain. So when they take it away from you, and you know they're doing it for a bad reason, you're still feeling for the time when it felt good to be with them. That's why you keep going back to that ex. You know in your head, in your heart, and even in your private places that you shouldn't be with that person no more. And you're good as long as you're not around them. But as soon as you are around them, you have that feeling of, damn, I remember how it felt when he and she was whatever. So that trauma bond is real. It's like I said before, it's really connected to almost a narcissistic or manipulator type personality person. The one that love bomb you to death, and then they'll snatch it from you. And if you're the one on debate, if you're the one that's the more in love, you're gonna be begging for that affection from them, and they're gonna withhold it from you in some kind of way, either silent treatment, or they're gonna ignore you, or they know what your insecurities are, and they're gonna say things that's gonna crush those. And you're gonna magnify and make them worse. They know what to say to you. That's the person that controls that relationship.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Real.
Yes.
Do you feel if you are suffering from that and you get the mindset of being adapted to that, is it fair to say that you are even afraid to step out of your comfort zone to deal with someone other than that, because of that's what you're used to, and you feel that because you'll hear women use the word of we use intimidated words too. We're intimidated, more so of like really because I don't know how to act around this guy because I'm used to that kind of guy. And it could be the trauma and the things that you're talking about, but it doesn't mean it's good stuff that we should have been involved in the first place.
Right.
So are we using it, you think, as a roadblock to, I don't know how to deal with this, I'm gonna stay in this lane. These are the kind of people that I like and I know how to deal with.
Yeah, but if you're doing that, then you come in a place of disconnect already. And you're gonna stay in that mindset to where you're gonna get close, but that's it. You're never gonna get all the way in because that defense mechanism is just up. But if you're a trauma bond person, they typically move to trauma style relationship. Trauma's not always me put my hands on you. Trauma is me, you coming to me for saying something, you just decided to do this project, you all excited about it, but I'm looking at you like it's stupid. Like everything you do, I'm finding a way to knock it down, to kill your confidence. It's like the old pimp say, screw the mind and the body will follow. Those trauma bonds, men do it, women do it. It's not a gender thing. They both do it. It's normally the sign of a master manipulator. Those people learn you. And if you're a person that, you love hard, you won't see them putting those puppet strings in your back until you realize you done cut all your family off. You done cut all your friends off. You feel like you can't live without them. You know what I'm saying? You're almost to a point of codependency where you can't even sleep good if they're in the bed with you. You're chemically codependent now. You can't even rest. Even in good relationship that happens, but in those things are being poured back into them. When you're in a trauma bond, that one person is controlling it like you're a puppet. Where your feelings are connected to how they feel. If they're pissed off, you find yourself getting mad. Like, what the hell am I mad for? I ain't did nothing. Or they come in sad, then somehow you could be in a great mood, and now all of a sudden you're sad because they're so dominant over you. They kind of can almost control how you feel.
So if you could do this, Dr. Real, if someone's listening tonight and they're picking up on some of the lingo that you're saying, and they're in that situation, what advice, like what steps would you give them to take forward to exit that type of mindset and situation? Like, how do they change that?
Number one thing you got to do is learn to know yourself. To thine own self be true. Because you've gotten to a point where you're no longer you. You've combined your whole being with that person. That's why they had the puppet strings and making you go left, right, and whatever, because you connected your identity to them. You have to slowly and methodically start getting your self identity back. You have to be able to do it. So, and then you can actually, once you get that back and you love yourself again and you trust yourself again, those two things, you're loyal to you, all that bull crap they've been feeding you, you'll start, all the cracks will start. You'll start seeing the light cracking through all the darkness you've been in, because that person you created in your head that you kept romanticizing that was there briefly, you'll start seeing the person for who they are, because you'll start loving you more. If you're oh man, I'll die without you type of person, and that's how you see them, and they know that, you're giving them all kind of juice to hold you present. You just told that person you can't live without them, and you meant what you said. They may tell you the same thing. Are they doing the same thing that a crackhead does? If I'm a crack dealer, I'm gonna give you a little something, then let you go and test this to make it stronger for you. So now I'm gonna have you hooked. So when I take it from you, you do damn near everything I say to get it back. So you gotta be very careful and just watch out for some signs really quickly. If you see that happen, there's somebody who, and I know this can go both ways, but somebody tell you that they in love with you really quickly.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say you can't fall in love at first sight, because I'm a firm believer in that. But you gotta be careful how when that person starts saying they love you, and then they start doing major deep down the road things in the second week of your relationship. They already popped up a promise ring. They only known you 2 weeks. They don't know they don't ask allergic to you yet, but they talking about they ready to take you home to their mama. Boy, I ain't known you but
that's true.
5 seconds. Your mama need to meet me. Yeah, true story.
Carlos said, "You've become lost. I went through that in my early 20s. Craig used to try and tell me about TY all the time."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all, this where you gonna get the good stuff from. Because the thing about it is, sometimes when we're going through something, we can't even identify the meaning behind it, because the way the trauma, the stuff that you just labeled this as, when you start to listen to how you break it down, that's when people understand, like, damn, that's what I'm going through, and that's what I'm suffering with, because people don't really know. And the main thing with that is that, to the point of what you said, people try to evaluate everybody else, but what we're not doing is, we got to take out some time and sit down and evaluate ourselves. Look at the person in the mirror. Try to figure out what you're attracting, what you're chasing, people you're encountering, just things that you're indulging in that could cause you to have these things and experience these things. I agree. I think that a lot of times we point the finger at other people when we got to really realize, what's up with me? Like, what's up with us? We got to figure out us first before we can even begin to figure out what's wrong with somebody else. We got to focus on self.
That's right. Very true. Just keep your eyes open. I love to say to keep your mind and heart separate until you find somebody worth uniting them. Because again, I feel like no one is worth. You shouldn't give your mind and heart over to anybody more than 3 times. It's like, after that, I think it's so devalued you don't even know no more. That's a very strong thing to give somebody your heart and your mind. And then your mind controls your body. So if they got in there and they got you infected, it'll be a long time before you see your heart anyway.
Yep, it's true. It is so, so true. Do you have any quotes for us tonight? As you can see, we've run out of time. It's 8:59. What do you got for us tonight, Dr. Real?
I do. I have, the next time you hate to say something, keep your mouth closed.
Wait a minute. Did you just tell us to shut up?
You know what people always say, I hate to say something. Then you hate to say something. What the hell you saying it for? Shut your damn mouth. Because it may not make sense. Anyway.
It makes sense. I'm just like, damn, he just.
Okay, go ahead. About that might be on a t-shirt, lady. Just saying. And the first step in fixing you is realizing you are broken.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're never going to fix you if you don't realize you're broken, and that abuser that used the trauma that y'all have created, using that to allow you to see that you're never broken. And if you're an empath, you will always connect with people you feel you need to fix. That's your trauma bond. You always want to fix people all the time. So be careful. Be careful.
Ooh, we told y'all it was going to be a good show. And thanks so much, Damien, for rocking with us. And he said, great show. We appreciate you tuning in with us on our Wednesday nights. Also, guys, you guys will not see my face or Dr. Real's face for a couple of weeks. We want to enjoy our families and the holidays, same as you. So the next time that you will see the Wednesday night show will actually be on a Wednesday, but it will be December the 8th. Reason being is because my birthday is December the 1st. It's on a Wednesday. I don't even know where I'm going to be, but I'm going to definitely be somewhere turning up, having a good time. So check out my reels or something, and you'll get a sneak peek of whatever it is that I'm doing on my birthday. But we do have other shows here, so make sure you're tuned in. The Mompreneur podcast will air tomorrow night, so make sure you rock with Robin. She's the host of the Mompreneur podcast. And as we always say, y'all, we ain't gotta go home, but me and Dr. Real got to get the hell up out of here
real quick.
So you guys just make sure y'all keep rocking with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys when we come back next month on the 8th. And you all be safe out there and have a good night. Enjoy your family.